The river was low that winter. Weeks without rain had pulled the water back from the banks, exposing dark mud and broken branches that had not seen daylight in years. That was when a fisherman found it. At first, he thought it was a stone, black, smooth, half buried. When he pulled it free, mud dripping from his hands, he realized it was a phone, an old phone, scratched, cracked, the back cover missing. He almost threw it away, but then the screen lit up. Not bright, not clear, just one faint glow and one sentence. "If you are reading this, I am already dead." The fisherman froze. His hands began to shake. He did not understand how a phone could still work after years underwater. He did not understand why a dead person would leave a message. And he did not know that this small, broken device was about to reopen the darkest case the town had ever tried to forget. 20 years earlier, the town of Graybridge was a quiet place. One high school, one hospital, 2 bars, and more secrets than anyone admitted. In the spring of 2005, a university student named Daniel Moore disappeared. 22 years old, history major, part-time library worker, no enemies, no criminal record. One night, he left the campus library at 9:40 p.m. Security cameras showed him walking toward the parking lot. Then, nothing. His car was found 3 days later on the edge of town. Keys inside, wallet on the seat, phone missing. No blood, no signs of struggle. Police searched the woods, the river, abandoned houses. Nothing. Weeks passed, then months, then years. The case file grew thick, but answers never came. Some said he ran away, some said drugs, some said suicide. His parents never believed any of it. They kept his room untouched. They kept his phone number active for 10 years, waiting. No message ever came, until the river returned it. The fisherman brought the phone to the police station the same morning. The officer on duty almost laughed. "Sir, this phone has been underwater for years." But when he pressed the power button, the screen came on. Battery, 3%. No SIM card, no signal, no network. Yet the phone opened directly to a video file, saved, locked, dated April 14th, 2005, the night Daniel Moore vanished. They gathered 3 detectives in a small room. They pressed play. The video began with darkness, then sound, breathing, fast, shaking. A weak light appeared. A face slowly came into view. Bruised, cut lip, one eye nearly closed. It was Daniel, alive, tied to a chair. He looked directly into the camera and whispered, "They know I took the photos. They say I won't leave this place." Behind them, a shadow moved. A man's voice said quietly, "Time is almost up." The video cut. No name, no location, no clue, only terror. For the first time in 20 years, Daniel Moore had spoken again. The phone was sent to forensic experts. Miraculously, most of the memory survived. Dozens of files, photos, short clips, voice notes, all recorded in the final 2 days of Daniel's life. They saw streets, license plates, buildings, a basement door. One voice note said, "I followed him again today. I'm sure now. He is not who he pretends to be." Another, "If anything happens to me, check the old factory on Lake Road." But Lake Road had burned down in 2008. Nothing left but ash. The phone itself was not from 2005. It was newer, released in 2012. Impossible. Which meant only one thing. Someone had kept the phone for years and later transferred the files, then hid it. Why? Who? And why now? Inside the phone was one app still logged into, a cloud storage account. Username, witness_0414. No profile picture, no email, no recovery number. When police searched the system, the account no longer existed. Deleted, but not fully erased. Traces showed that 3 weeks ago, someone logged in, uploaded one new file, then deleted the entire account. The new file was a photo, fresh, clear. It showed a basement, concrete floor, a broken clock on the wall, and in the corner, a chair. The same chair from the old video, still there, after 20 years, which meant the crime scene still existed, and someone had just been there. Detective Laura Finch reopened the old files. She read every report, every witness, every rumor. One name appeared again and again: Thomas Keller. In 2005, he was a night security guard at the old factory. Age 38, divorced, quiet, no friends. He was questioned once. He said Daniel had asked for directions. Nothing more. No proof. Released. Now, Thomas Keller was 58, a respected businessman, owned 3 storage buildings, married, 2 children, no criminal record. When police searched public records, one of his storage buildings was built on the remains of the old factory. Same land, same basement level, still underground, still sealed. They requested a warrant. When they entered the building, the basement door was locked. Thick steel, new lock. Inside, concrete walls, old pipes, dust everywhere. And in the far corner, a wooden chair with ropes still attached. And on the wall above it, a broken clock, stopped forever at 9:47 p.m. The time Daniel disappeared. The basement was colder than the rest of the building. The air smelled old, metal, dust. Police walked slowly, lights moving across the walls. Behind a row of shelves, one officer noticed something strange. The walls sounded hollow. They pulled the shelves away. A small metal door was hidden behind them. No handle, only a fingerprint scanner. Modern, new, very expensive, which meant someone had been protecting this room until recently. They forced it open. Inside, a narrow chamber. No windows, no light. On the floor were dark stains, old, dry, blood. In the corner, they found a plastic box, sealed. Inside, a memory card, a key, and a folded note. The note was written in shaky ink. He never works alone. The memory card changed everything. Inside were videos recorded after Daniel disappeared. Not one victim, 3. 3 young men, all tied to chairs, all in the same room. 2 faces were unknown, but the third, police recognized them. Evan Brooks, a delivery driver who vanished in 2011. His case had also gone cold. No body, no suspect. Now they had proof. This was not one crime. This was a system, a pattern. Someone had been killing witnesses. Why? They checked Daniel's university records. His final project was about corruption in local businesses. He had been investigating illegal land deals, factories sold cheaply, buildings burned, insurance paid, and one company appeared in every file: Keller Holdings, owned by Thomas Keller. They brought Thomas Keller in for questioning. He was calm, polite, smiling. He said the basement was used for storage. He said he'd never seen the chair, never seen the clock, never heard of Daniel. But when they showed him the photo uploaded 3 weeks ago, his smile faded, because the photo was taken from his own security camera. Someone had accessed his system from inside his office, not a stranger, someone close. Police searched Keller's office computer, hidden files, encrypted. Inside them, messages, payments, and one name repeating many times: Dr. Alan Pierce, a former city inspector, now retired. In 2005, he approved every factory sale, every land permit, every demolition, including the old factory on Lake Road. They visited Dr. Pierce's house. Inside, they found something unexpected: a wall of photos. Daniel Moore, Evan Brooks, and the 2 unknown victims, all circled in red. Under each photo, witness. Dr. Pierce did not deny anything. He was tired, old, hands shaking. He said Daniel had discovered the truth: illegal deals, bribes, fake fires, insurance fraud. Daniel planned to expose them, so Keller kidnapped him. Pierce helped cover it up, but something went wrong. Daniel secretly recorded everything. He hid the files, and before he died, he gave the phone to Pierce. Pierce panicked, kept it hidden, but years later, guilt destroyed him. He transferred the files to a newer phone, uploaded them, deleted the account, then threw the phone into the river, hoping nature would erase the truth. But the river gave it back. Pierce confessed. He led police to a second burial site. 2 more bodies were found. One victim was never identified. The third had no name, no family, only a number tattooed on his wrist. Thomas Keller was arrested, charged with 3 murders, but he refused to speak. No confession, no motive. The trial began. The videos were shown. The chair, the clock, the basement. The jury listened in silence. Keller watched calmly until one final file, a hidden audio recording. Daniel's last message, his voice weak but clear. If you hear this, they will deny everything, but check the river again. There is one more truth left. Police returned to the river. Divers searched deeper. Near an old bridge, they found metal chains, and beneath them, a sealed container. Inside, another phone, still working. Inside that phone, a final video, recorded after Daniel died. It showed Keller and Pierce together, arguing. Pierce saying, "You promised no more witnesses." Keller answering, "There will always be witnesses, unless we stop them." This proved everything. Not only murder, but a long criminal network. Confronted with the video, Keller finally spoke. He said the first murder was a mistake. Daniel was supposed to be scared, not killed. But once it happened, he realized something. Witnesses were dangerous, and fear was useful. For years, he used the basement, used a chair, used silence. Pierce helped choose targets, men who knew too much, men no one would search for. The system worked until guilt broke Pierce, and the river broke the silence. Keller was sentenced to life in prison, no parole. Pierce died in custody 3 months later, heart failure, before sentencing. Daniel Moore was finally buried, 20 years late. His parents stood beside the grave, old now, tired, but finally at peace. The phone was placed in evidence, labeled "Solved by Victim." Detective Finch wrote the final report. She ended it with one line. This case was not closed by police. It was closed by a dead man who refused to stay silent. And sometimes, late at night, in the evidence room, that phone still lights up. No signal, no battery, only one sentence on the screen. The truth always finds a way back. If you like this type of content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.